The pen hits the paper with a soft click, but it sounds like a gunshot in my ears. "Daniel," I whisper, my throat dry. "What the hell is this?" He leans back in the chair, like it's all a joke. His expensive watch catches the boardroom lights, mocking me. "Relax, Ethan. It's business. Business." I push the chair back so hard it screeches across the floor. "You're signing my company away." "Our company," he corrects, smirking. "And technically, it's already done." My stomach twists. No, that's not possible. "We agreed. We built this together. Every line of code, every deal, every risk," he interrupts. "That I covered when you were too busy playing hero?" I stare at him, confused, trying to breathe. "You're lying." Then Ava's hand slides into his. Ava, my girlfriend. My anchor, my world. "She doesn't even look at me, Ava." My voice cracks. "What are you doing?" She meets my eyes, calm, almost bored. "I'm choosing a future, Ethan. With him. With stability," she replies coldly. "You had dreams." "Daniel has a plan." I let out a bitter laugh. "Unbelievable. After everything after us, you choose him?" She tilts her head. "You've always lived in the clouds." "He's building something real. I built this company." I shout. "Every sleepless night, every risk, every deal, and you gambled too much," Daniel cuts in. "Investors were getting nervous. They wanted a leader who could deliver. Not a sentimental fool chasing ideals." "You stab me in the back," I whisper. He shrugs. "I gave you a chance to come along. You said no. Don't blame me for making smart moves." I slam my hands on the table. "You gave me a trap, not a choice." Daniel stands, straightening his suit jacket. "I gave you a chance to evolve. You clung to your ego." Ego. My laugh is hollow. "You're stealing my life's work and calling it evolution?" Ava finally speaks again. "It's over, Ethan. Fighting won't change anything. The contracts are signed." I look at the papers in front of me. Black ink. My name, my dream, gone. "You both planned this," I say slowly, realizing it. "How long?" Daniel doesn't answer. Ava does. "Since the investor meeting 3 months ago." I take a step back. The air in the room feels heavy, choking. 3 months, I repeat. "And you looked me in the eye every night. Told me you loved me?" She flinches slightly, but doesn't deny it. Daniel crosses his arms. "You made it easy, Ethan. Always so trusting. Always so naive." "Naive," I echo. "For trusting my best friend." His grin widens. "I'm not your best friend. I'm your co-founder. And now, your replacement." Something inside me snaps. "You think you'll get away with this?" "I already did." My jaw clenches. "What happens when people find out you stole my work?" "They won't," he says confidently. "Because it's not theft when the board signs off." "And guess what they already did?" "I have full control now, you bastard." He leans close enough that I can smell the expensive cologne he always wore when he was bluffing. "It's not personal, Ethan. It's just business." I whisper, "It's my life." "Then maybe," he says softly, "you should have protected it better." Ava stands and walks toward the door. I follow her with my eyes, begging her to look back. She doesn't. I turn to Daniel again. "I believed in you." "And I believed in success," he answers without a flicker of guilt. The rain outside pounds against the windows like the world itself is mocking me. I take a breath, but it tastes like ash. "I hope it eats you alive." Daniel laughs. "I'll be too busy celebrating to care." I walk toward the door, but he calls after me. "Don't do anything stupid, Ethan. You're done here. Accept it." I stop at the doorway, not turning around. "You'll regret this," he chuckles. "Doubt it." I step out into the hallway. It's empty, cold. Every step echoes like a final verdict. I press my back against the wall, sliding down slowly. My hands shake. My chest feels hollow. 3 months. 3 months of lies, I whisper to myself. They took everything. But deep beneath the wreckage, something sharp begins to form. A whisper, quiet but steady. This isn't the end. The elevator doors open. I see their reflection in the glass. Daniel's arm around Ava, both smiling. My chest burns, but I don't cry. I can't. I step into the elevator. A guard nods at me, but says nothing. My silence is louder than any scream I could give. As the doors close, I stare at my reflection. Same face, same eyes. But something is gone. Outside, the rain hits hard. I walk without an umbrella. I want the water to wash everything away. The trust, the love, the illusion. A taxi slows down near the curb. The driver shouting, "Hey, you need a ride?" I shake my head. No. I keep walking. Shoes soaked. Shirt clinging to my skin. The city lights blur with the rain. My phone buzzes. Daniel's name flashes across the screen. I throw the phone into a puddle. The sound of it sinking is strangely satisfying. I whisper again, louder this time. This isn't the end. Couple passes by, laughing under an umbrella. For a moment, I hate the sound of joy, but I keep walking. Behind me, the glass tower glows with the name of the company I built. Our company. Their company now. My chest tightens, but I straighten my back. Fine, I say to the night. Take it all. My breath fogs in the cold air. I'll build something they can't touch. Lightning flashes overhead and the rain grows heavier. The city doesn't care about broken hearts. It never does, but I care. And I'll remember every word, every look, every lie. Daniel's smirk. Ava's cold eyes. The signed papers. The betrayal. I stop at the edge of the street, water pooling around my feet. I'll rise, I whisper. Even if it kills me trying. A bus splashes past, soaking me even more. But I don't flinch. For the first time in hours, a twisted smile pulls at my lips. They think they've won. They haven't seen what I become when I lose everything. The apartment door creaks open, and the silence hits me harder than the rain ever did. I toss my keys onto the counter, watch them skid and fall to the floor. Perfect, I mutter. Even gravity's against me tonight. The place smells like dust and defeat. I drop onto the couch, grab the whiskey bottle I bought from the corner store, and twist it open. The burn in my throat feels almost good. Congratulations, Ethan, I whisper. You lost everything but still managed to afford self-pity. The news plays on the small TV I never bothered mounting. Daniel's face fills the screen, confident, charming, rehearsed. We're proud to announce the official launch of Hayes Technologies, he says. My jaw tightens. Hayes Technologies. My code. My blueprint. Then Ava appears beside him, smiling like betrayal is fashionable. Reporters swarmed them, calling them the power couple of the decade. I take another drink, long and slow. Power couple, I mumble. More like parasites. A knock interrupts the silence. I ignore it. Another knock, louder, go away, I shout, but the door opens anyway. Nice to see you drowning in cheap whiskey, Clara says. Stepping in with that same fearless tone she's had since we were kids. Didn't realize breaking and entering was your new hobby, I say. Pouring another drink, she crosses her arms. And I didn't realize self-destruction was yours. Let me have this, I mutter. Ethan, she says softly, it's one night. You'll hate yourself in the morning. I already do. She walks over and takes the glass from my hand. Enough. I reach for it again. Clara, no? She empties it in the sink. The sound of liquid hitting steel feels like punishment. Do you even know what they did to me? I ask. I saw the news, she says. Everyone has. Then you know Daniel stole everything. And Ava, my voice cracks. She helped him. Clara sits beside me. Yeah, I know. And it's disgusting. But sitting here like this isn't you. I don't even know who I am anymore. Yes, you do, she insists. You're Ethan Cole. You're stubborn, stupidly honest, and Dad's favorite headache. I laugh bitterly. Dad's gone. He's not, she says, tapping her chest. He's here. And you remember what he always said? I sigh. Clara, don't start with, when people steal from you, she interrupts, lowering her voice. Don't chase them. Rebuild bigger. The words hit me like a memory. Dad's voice in the garage, grease on his hands, telling me the same thing after I lost my first client. I close my eyes. Rebuild bigger, she nods. Exactly. You don't burn for them, Ethan. You rise. I stare at the floor, the cracked tiles, the empty bottles. You think I can rise after this? I don't think, she says firmly. I know. Silence stretches between us, heavy but not empty. Finally, I whisper, you always make it sound so simple. It's not simple, she says. It's necessary. I rub my temples. I don't even have a plan. Could start with anger. Turn it into fuel. I look at her. And what if I fail again? She gives a small smile. Then fail louder. Fail until they can't ignore you. Her confidence both annoys and steadies me. You really think I can rebuild? Not think, she says again. No, I laugh quietly. You and your certainty. Someone has to believe when you don't, she replies. I stare at her. And for the first time that night, the room doesn't feel so suffocating. Thanks, I mutter. Don't thank me, she says. Just promise me you'll do something tomorrow other than drink. Like what? Anything that reminds you you're alive? I nod slowly. Fine, she stands, grabbing her coat. Good, because I'm not visiting your pity party again. I smirk. You love my pity parties. She opens the door. They suck. And your music choices are terrible. As she leaves, she pauses at the doorway. You're not done, Ethan. You're just starting again. The door clicks shut. The silence returns, but this time it feels different. Not empty, just waiting. I walk to the window. The city lights blur through the rain, but they don't seem so distant now. I can almost hear Dad's voice again. When people steal from you, don't chase them. Rebuild bigger. I whisper the words out loud. Rebuild bigger. I grab the whiskey bottle, hesitate, then pour the rest down the sink. It feels like letting go of a ghost. The clock on the wall ticks louder than before. Each second feels like a countdown to something new. My laptop sits on the table, dusty, unused since the day of the betrayal. I stare at it for a long moment before sitting down and opening it. The screen flickers to life almost reluctantly. The folder labeled Old Projects catches my eye. I open it. There it is, the design Daniel called a dead end. A dead end, let's see about that, I whisper. I start typing. Not to forget, but to rebuild. Every click of the keyboard sounds like defiance. Somewhere between the tapping keys and the hum of the rain, I feel something shift inside me. Not forgiveness, not peace. But direction, they took everything. Fine, I'll make something they can't steal. Tomorrow. The world will still say, Daniel Hayes won. Let them. Because tonight, for the first time since the fall, I'm not drowning anymore. I'm rising. The cursor blinks on my cracked laptop screen like it's mocking me. Lines of half-finished code stare back. My stomach growls, but I ignore it. Coffee and stubbornness are keeping me alive. I mumble, freelancing, consulting, selling my soul for $20 an hour. Living the dream. Familiar voice cuts through the static of my old headphones. Still talking to yourself, huh? I look up, surprised. Liam. He stands in the doorway of the co-working space, grinning like the past year never happened. Heard you were still breathing? Figured I'd check. Barely, I say. You here to gloat or recruit? He laughs. Neither. I'm here because I got fired from Hayes Tech yesterday. I blink. Daniel fired you? Apparently loyalty doesn't pay well, he says, shrugging. So, got any openings in? Whatever this is. I glance around at the mess of cables, empty coffee cups, and my one dying laptop. Yeah, sure. Welcome to the Empire, he grins. I like the optimism. It's sarcasm. I'll take it anyway. We spend the next hour catching up. It feels strange, like breathing again after months underwater. So, he says, scrolling through my screen, what's this you're working on? An idea Daniel said was impossible. That's promising. It's an adaptive interface, I explain. Software that learns user behavior and adjusts itself. It could revolutionize how people interact with systems. Hey, Liam whistles. You've been busy? I've been angry, I admit. Anger's good fuel, he says, but it burns fast. You need something steadier. I need results. He grins. Then let's get to work. For the next few weeks, we live on caffeine, instant noodles, and hope. Every bug fix feels like a small victory, every crash a punch to the gut. But we keep going. One night, Liam leans back in his chair. You ever think about quitting? Every day, I say. But then I remember Daniel's face, and somehow I find the energy to keep typing. He laughs. Petty motivation. I like it. It's called survival, I reply. By morning, our prototype finally runs without crashing. The screen glows with the words Adaptive Interface v1.0. Liam raises his arms. It's alive. I can't help but smile. Barely, but yeah. We high-five. The sound echoes like a small victory drum in that shabby room. Then reality hits. Now what? We have no marketing, no funding, no connections. Liam shrugs. We have code. We'll figure the rest out. A week later, the answer walks through the door. The man looks out of place, neat suit, calm eyes, a quiet confidence that doesn't need attention. He pauses at our cluttered table. Ethan Cole, he asks. That's me, I say cautiously. And you are? Marcus Blake, he says, extending a hand. I've been following your old work. Shake his hand, still unsure. That's flattering, but what brings you here? He studies the screen behind me. I like what I see, Liam chuckles. You like chaos and broken chairs? Marcus smiles faintly. No, I like underdogs. Something in his tone makes me sit straighter. You read the reports then? You know what happened with Hayes? I did, he says. And I don't invest in excuses. I invest in potential. Liam looks at me. Sounds like a pitch. Marcus turns to him. I'm not pitching. I'm offering... Offering what exactly? Funding, he says simply. Enough to take your prototype to market? The room goes quiet. Even my laptop fan pauses like it's listening. Liam speaks first. This is either the best thing to happen to us, or the setup for a horror movie. Marcus chuckles. I assure you, no horror. I've just learned to spot people who are desperate enough to change the world. I study him. Why us? Because I saw your presentation 2 years ago, he says. The one Daniel called reckless. I saw brilliance where others saw risk. My throat tightens. That presentation got me blacklisted. And now it might save you, he replies. You've got fire, Mr. Cole. You just need oxygen. I glance at Liam, who grins. You hearing this, Ethan? He called you fire. I ignore him. How much oxygen are we talking about? Marcus slides a folder across the table. Inside are numbers that make my chest tighten enough to build, to hire, to start again. I close the folder slowly. What's the catch? No catch, he says. Just one condition. Don't become what you're fighting against. I meet his gaze. You mean Daniel? I mean ego, Marcus replies. The world doesn't need another Hayes. It needs a Cole. For a moment, I can't speak. Then I nod. Deal, Marcus extends his hand again. Then let's build something that lasts. When he leaves, the silence returns, but this time, it feels like possibility, not emptiness. Liam whistles. You realize we just got funded, right? Like actually funded. I laugh, shaking my head. Feels unreal. Claps me on the shoulder. Guess the comeback starts now. I look at our old equipment, the faded paint on the walls, the coffee stains on the table. It's nothing, but it's ours. This is the first brick, I say quietly. Liam raises an eyebrow. What? The start of something they can't steal, he grins. Then let's build the damn empire. I glance at the glowing screen, the faint hum of the computer filling the room. For the first time, since everything fell apart, I feel alive again. The world took everything from me once. Now I'm taking it back one line of code at a time. The headline flashes on my screen. Daniel Hayes and Ava Carter, the golden couple of tech. Their photo fills the page. His arm around her waist, her perfect smile. My design, my stolen code, sitting proudly in the background. I close the laptop. But the image burns behind my eyes. Liam looks up from his desk. You okay? Define okay, I mutter. Still hate him? Every line of his face, Liam smirks. Healthy motivation. I call it fuel. Wow. He leans back in his chair. Then don't waste it scrolling headlines. We've got demos to prep. That's right. We're days away from the TechRees Summit, the same stage Daniel once banned me from. Ironic that I'm going back as a competitor now. Still, I can't shake the ghosts. That night, Clara calls. You're quiet lately, I'm fine. You're lying, she says. You sound like Dad before he'd punch a wall. I laugh softly. You remember that? I remember you cleaning up after him. Don't repeat the pattern, Ethan. You've already won more than they think. Winning feels far away. Then walk closer, she says. And don't let Daniel rent space in your head without paying. Her words stay with me. The summit day arrives under bright lights and nerves. Liam's in a crisp blazer, pretending not to be terrified. I'm in my old leather jacket, a reminder of where I came from. You sure about this? He asks. No, I admit. But I'm done hiding. We set up our booth, a simple screen, 2 laptops, and a banner that barely stays upright. Across the hall, Daniel's display dominates the space. Massive LED walls. Champagne trays, Ava in a shimmering dress. Liam whistles. Subtle, as always. Overcompensation, I say. Still married to your code, huh? Still married to his ego? The crowd buzzes. Cameras flash. Then I hear his voice, smooth, confident, fake. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hayes Technologies. My pulse quickens. I turn just in time to see him, Daniel Hayes, shaking hands like a politician. Ava stands beside him, radiant, every inch the partner he always wanted her to be. Her eyes meet mine for a second. She freezes. Then she looks away. Liam mutters, "Oh boy." Here we go. Daniel's gaze follows hers. When he spots me, his smile widens. That same smug, practiced grin. Well, if it isn't Ethan Cole, he says, walking over. Didn't expect to see you here? I force a smile. I go where the innovation is, he chuckles. Still chasing me, huh? Actually, I say, you're the one standing in front of my booth. He glances around at the peeling banner and laughs. Cute setup. Very. Grassroots. Liam mutters under his breath. He means broke. Daniel leans closer, voice low. You'll always be second best, Ethan. You know that, right? Some of us are meant to lead. Others, to inspire the leaders. I meet his eyes. Funny. That's what people said about Edison and Tesla too, he smirks. And we both know who history remembers. History's still being written, I say. Ava steps forward slightly, her tone uneasy. Daniel, let's not. But he waves her off. Relax, love. Just old friends talking. Friends? I laugh softly. You stole from me. His grin doesn't fade. I improved you. Something inside me snaps, not with rage, but clarity. I finally see him for what he is, scared of being forgotten. I straighten. You can have the spotlight, Daniel. I'll take the legacy. He tilts his head. We'll see who's still standing next year. I smile. A real one, for the first time in months. We will. Liam nudges me as Daniel walks away. That was suicidal or genius. Hard to tell. Both, I say. He laughs. You think he's worried? Not yet, I reply. But he will be. Our demo begins. The screen flickers to life, adaptive code shifting in real time to audience behavior. People murmur, intrigued. A few journalists lean in. One whispers, "Who built this?" Liam grins. That'd be us. When the applause comes, small but genuine, I feel something shift inside me. Not vengeance. Not pride. Just peace. Clara's voice echoes in my head. Don't let him live in your mind rent-free, I whisper under my breath. Eviction notice served. Liam raises an eyebrow. What? Nothing, I say, smiling. Just letting go. Across the hall, Daniel's presentation begins. The lights flash. The crowd cheers. But for the first time, his voice trembles. He glances at me, and I don't look away. Because this time, I have something he never will. Resilience. Phoenix Dynamics, the reporter said, looking around my buzzing office. You really named it that. Rising from ashes felt appropriate, I replied. He smiled, scribbled something in his notepad, and left. The moment the door shut, Liam leaned on my desk. Another interview. You're officially famous. Fame doesn't pay invoices. He laughed. Relax. Investors love a tragic hero. You're the guy who got burned and built a fire of his own. Yeah, I said, glancing at the glowing numbers on the monitor. And this time, no one's taking it from me. Phoenix Dynamics wasn't just surviving anymore. It was thriving. The user base doubled every month, funding poured in. And my name started trending under headlines like the comeback king. Still, I couldn't celebrate. Not yet. Because every time I saw our charts rise, I imagined Daniel's crashing. Liam dropped a folder on my desk. Rumors say Hayes Tech delayed another product launch. Third one this quarter, I said quietly. He's slipping. I think it's karma? No, I said, shaking my head. Karma's slower. This is panic. That's when I got the email. From Natalie Quinn's subject. Confidential inquiry, her message was short. I think your former partner's been hiding something. Do you want to talk? I didn't know who she was, but her tone carried a quiet confidence that intrigued me. The next day, we met at a small coffee shop downtown. She arrived 10 minutes early, sharp black coat, hair tied back. Eyes observant but calm. You're Ethan Cole, she said, and you're Natalie Quinn. Investigative journalist for the Ledger. She smiled faintly. You did your homework. I don't like surprises. Neither do I, she replied, sliding a tablet across the table. Tell me if any of this looks familiar. I glanced down pages of documents, contracts, and purchase orders bearing Daniel's signature. But the numbers didn't match. Neither did the dates. These are fake, I said. I know, she replied. He's been inflating valuations, forging supplier invoices, and redirecting funds through shell accounts. But I can't print a word without proof. I hesitated. Why come to me? Because you built the foundation he's standing on, she said. If anyone knows where the cracks are, it's you. Ah. I looked at her. You think I'll hand you ammunition out of revenge? She tilted her head. Will you? Her question hung between us. The coffee steamed, the city hummed, and for the first time in months, I felt the old rage stirring again. I leaned back. I buried everything a year ago. I swore I'd move forward. Sometimes moving forward means looking back long enough to expose what's rotten, she said softly. I studied her face, calm, determined, unflinching. The kind of person who wouldn't flinch in a storm. What happens if you're wrong? I asked. Then I'll print a retraction. But if I'm right? She paused. You'll finally get justice. Justice, not revenge. The word felt lighter somehow. Come to my office tomorrow, I said. I'll show you something. The next day, I unlocked an old drive, the one I swore I'd never open again. Inside were the files I'd gathered before Daniel forced me out, my original blueprints, time-stamped designs, and copies of our contracts before he forged them. When Natalie arrived, she stood silently as I loaded the data. She whispered, You kept all this. I thought I deleted it, I said quietly. Guess part of me couldn't let go. She looked at the screen. This is enough to sink him. I turned to her. Sink him or sink us? She smiled. Truth doesn't sink good people, Ethan. It just clears the water. We spent hours reviewing, cross-referencing, building a case. Every document was a memory I didn't want to relive. My handwriting beside his, our signatures on the same page. When she finally stood, she said, You're giving me everything. Yes, I said. If you're doing this, do it right. No leaks, no clickbait. You have my word. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every headline, every betrayal, every sleepless night came rushing back. But beneath the noise, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. 3 weeks later, the expose aired. Headline: Hays Technologies accused of fraud and intellectual theft. The article exploded across every media outlet within hours. I sat in my office, hands trembling, watching the live broadcast. Natalie's voice narrated over footage of Daniel's boardroom. His forced smile, barely holding. Our investigation reveals a pattern of deception, forged records, and stolen innovation, all under the direction of CEO Daniel Hays. Liam burst into the room. Holy hell, Ethan. She did it. On screen, Daniel's face paled as reporters surrounded him. I whispered, "Justice breathes." Liam looked at me. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said slowly. "I thought I'd feel angry, but I just feel lighter." The phone rang. It was Natalie. "You saw it?" She asked. "I saw it." "Then you know, this is just the beginning. He'll fight back. I'm counting on it." She laughed softly. "I like the way you think." "Thank you," I said, "for doing what I couldn't." "You gave me truth," she replied. "I just gave it a microphone." After she hung up, I stared out the window at the city, my city now. The skyline glittered, alive and restless. Somewhere out there, Daniel was finally feeling what I once did: helplessness. But unlike him, I hadn't built my empire on lies. Phoenix Dynamics was real, earned, honest for the first time. I didn't feel like the man who lost everything. I felt like the man who started again. The TV blared in the background, anchors shouting over breaking headlines. Hays Technologies plummets 28% overnight. Federal investigation expands into falsified contracts. Daniel's empire, the same one he stole from me, was collapsing in real time. Liam stood behind me, eyes wide. "You seeing this?" "Yeah," I said quietly. He grinned. "This is it, man." He's done. But I didn't smile. Watching the footage felt hollow, like the victory had already happened a long time ago. Liam noticed my silence. "You're not even happy?" "I thought I would be," I said. "But it just feels quiet," he shrugged. "Closure's not as loud as revenge." Before I could reply, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, one message, "Can we talk?" The name beneath it froze me. Ava. Liam saw my face change. "Oh no." "Don't you dare, I just want to hear what she wants." "She's poison, Ethan." I know," I said. "But maybe I need to hear it anyway," he sighed. "Fine. But don't let her rewrite history." I met Ava that evening at the same cafe where we used to plan my dreams. Back when she still called them ours, she was already there. Sunglasses hiding her eyes, coffee untouched. When she looked up, I saw the exhaustion beneath the makeup. "Ethan," she said softly. "Ava, you came. I shouldn't have." "I know," she whispered. But I didn't know who else to call. I sat across from her, keeping my distance. "What do you want?" Her fingers trembled around the cup. "He used me, Ethan. Every lie, every photo, every word I said to the press. It was all him. I thought I was part of something great, but I was just part of his cover." I studied her face. "You knew what he did to me." You still stood beside him. "I thought I won," she said, voice breaking. "I thought power meant happiness. But he never loved me." "Not really." I leaned back. "Now you care?" Tears welled in her eyes. "You don't have to forgive me. I just wanted you to know you were right about him." I stared at the street outside, cars passing. Lights flickering, people moving forward while we sat drowning in yesterday. I don't need to be right. "Ava, I just needed to survive." She reached across the table. "Ethan, please," I pulled my hand away. "You chose your side. I didn't know it would cost me everything." "It always does," I said. "That's the price of betrayal." Her tears slipped past her lashes. "He's ruined me. No one wants to hire me. No one returns my calls. The media calls me the face of his fraud." "And you want sympathy?" "No," she whispered. "Just forgiveness." I looked at her. Really looked. Once. Her voice could break me. Now, it barely stirred me. There was a time I'd have given you anything, I said. My company, my future, my heart. But that man died the day you smiled beside him. Right. She covered her face. I'm sorry, Ethan. Sorry doesn't fix the ashes. Her shoulders shook as she cried. People glanced over, but I didn't care. I stood. You made your choice. Now live with it. She looked up, mascara streaked, voice trembling. You really feel nothing for me anymore? I hesitated, not because of her, but because of who I used to be. No, I said finally. What I feel isn't love or hate. It's peace. Ava nodded slowly, defeated. I guess that's what I deserve. Maybe, I said. Maybe we both do. I turned to leave. Behind me, I heard her whisper my name one last time, fragile and broken. I didn't look back. Outside, the air was cold but clean. Liam called as I walked down the street. You alive? Yeah, she'll try to play the victim. She didn't need to. She already lost. He was silent for a moment. You sound different. I feel different, I said. What changed? I realized revenge isn't about hurting them, I said. It's about freeing yourself. He chuckled softly. Deep man. Guess we're officially in your redemption arc. Oh, maybe, I said. Or maybe I just stopped carrying ghosts. I hung up and looked up at the skyline. Phoenix Dynamics logo glowing faintly in the distance. For the first time, the city didn't feel heavy. It felt alive, and so did I. He walked into my office without warning, thinner, pale, eyes sunk deep into dark circles. The security guard hesitated at the door, but I waved him off. I wanted to see how far Daniel had fallen. He looked around the room at the glass walls, the bustling team behind them. The logo of Phoenix Dynamics glowing on the far wall before turning to me with that same crooked grin. So, he said, voice dry like dust. You won, Ethan? Happy now? I leaned back in my chair, fingers interlaced. Happy. That's not the word I'd use. He laughed, short and bitter. Then what is it? Vindicated? Proud? You got everything, the money, the fame, the headlines. Hell, you even got your dignity back. Congratulations. I studied him carefully. His suit hung loose, his hair unkempt. He looked nothing like the golden boy from the magazines. I didn't do this to make headlines, I said quietly. You did that part yourself, he scoffed. Right. Always the moral one, huh? You think you're better than me now? I stood, walked to the window, and looked down at the city I used to think I'd never conquer. No, Daniel. I think I finally became who I was supposed to be without you. He slumped into the chair across from my desk. You know what's funny? Everyone thinks I'm the villain. But I built something too. I took risks. I believed in what we started. You believed in yourself, I replied, turning toward him. You just didn't believe in honesty. He met my eyes. And where did honesty get you back then? Fired, broke, alone. Yeah, I said, a small smile touching my lips. But it also gave me a reason to fight. For a moment, silence filled the room, not tense, just heavy. The kind that carries all the unsaid years between two people who once dreamed the same dream. He exhaled sharply. I didn't come here to fight, Ethan. I came to ask. He paused, swallowing. For a job? My brows lifted. A job? He nodded. You've got investors, contracts, growth. I know this world better than most. I can help you. I couldn't help the small laugh that escaped me. You want to work for me? His jaw tightened. Don't make it sound pathetic. I'm not, I said, stepping closer. But you don't belong here anymore. You built your empire on lies. I built mine on pain. That's the difference. He leaned forward, desperation flickering in his eyes. You think I haven't paid enough? I've lost everything, the company, Ava, the respect, the friends. What more do you want from me? I met his gaze, steady and unflinching. Nothing. That's the point. I don't want anything from you anymore. He stared at me, breathing unevenly. You're really not going to help me, are you? I helped you once, I said. You turned that help into betrayal. This time, I'm just letting the truth do its job. He rose slowly from the chair, straightening his wrinkled jacket as if it still meant something. So that's it? You get your redemption, I get my ruin? That's not my doing, I replied. That's just balance. He gave a hollow laugh. You sound like one of those self-help gurus you used to mock. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I just learned the hard way that peace doesn't come from winning. It comes from letting go. Daniel looked at me one last time. You always were good with words, he muttered. Guess I should have listened instead of stealing them. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. He turned toward the door. Paused, then said quietly, You know, I thought I'd hate you forever. But maybe I just hated what I couldn't be. When the door closed behind him, I sat back down. The hum of the office returned, keyboards clicking, voices murmuring, the pulse of progress all around me. I thought I'd feel triumph, maybe satisfaction, but what I felt instead was stillness. For years, revenge was my fire. Now, only the ashes remained quiet, soft, strangely comforting. I looked out the window again, the skyline bathed in gold from the setting sun, and whispered to myself, No, Daniel, I didn't win. I just stopped losing, and for the first time in years, that was enough. The boardroom looked almost identical to the one where it all began. Same polished table, same glass walls, same skyline stretching beyond the horizon. Only this time, my name was etched on every plaque. Every portfolio, every heartbeat of Phoenix Dynamics, double quotes, Mr. Cole, a reporter asked from the front row. Her recorder flashing red. What inspired this incredible comeback? I smiled, leaning forward. Betrayal, I said simply. It was my greatest teacher. Laughter rippled through the room, but I meant every word. Another reporter chimed in. Do you ever think about Daniel Reed? About how it all started? The question hung in the air. For a moment, I saw his face again, confident, cunning, unstoppable, until the cracks appeared. Until everything fell apart? I think about him often, I admitted. Not with anger, though. With gratitude. Gratitude. Someone repeated, surprised. Yes, I said, meeting their eyes one by one. He destroyed me once, but in doing so, he gave me something far more valuable, resilience. Pens scribbled, cameras clicked. Would you say you've forgiven him? I smiled again, softer this time. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about freeing yourself. Yes. I forgave him the day I stopped needing revenge. The room went quiet for a beat, then erupted with another round of questions, all blurring together. Numbers, projections, partnerships. I answered them automatically. But my mind drifted to the window behind me. When the conference ended, the reporters filed out, leaving behind a hum of success, quiet, steady, complete. I walked toward the glass, hands in my pockets, and stared down at the city below. It pulsed with life cars, lights, dreams in motion. The same city that once watched me fall now carried my name in neon. Funny, I murmured to myself, how life circles back. For a second, I thought I saw a reflection beside mine, Daniel's, just as I remembered him from that last meeting. His eyes hollow, his pride cracked. But then the image faded, leaving only me. You were the storm that tore me apart, I whispered. But you also cleared the sky. I remembered his words. You'll always be second best, Ethan. I smiled faintly. Guess you were wrong. Outside, the wind picked up, brushing against the glass like a ghost's sigh. I closed my eyes, breathing in the silence. There was no anger left, no bitterness, only clarity. Phoenix Dynamics wasn't built on revenge. It was built on everything I learned from falling on the ashes of betrayal, the fire of perseverance, and the calm that comes after survival. I placed a hand on the glass and said quietly, Thank you, Daniel. You destroyed me. But you also made me unstoppable. The words disappeared into the skyline, carried by the wind. But I knew somehow he heard them. And for the first time, I didn't just own a company. I owned myself.